Princess Eugenie is distancing herself from her parents over the fallout from their association with Jeffrey Epstein.
According to multiple reports, Princess Eugenie is no longer speaking to her father, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, at all. No calls, no public appearances, no visible contact. That's a very sharp line to draw, especially in a family where silence and polite distance are usually the norm. This all surfaced after reports that Eugenie has cut off Andrew entirely following the removal of his royal titles and the renewed attention on his links to Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike her sister Beatrice, who still maintains contact, Eugenie has reportedly stepped away completely. The discussion really took off on Good Morning Britain earlier this week, where royal commentator Afua Hagen laid out what she believes is the real reason behind Eugenie's decision. Not family tension, not a temporary rift, but something far more practical. Hagen described the move as self-preservation.
Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor and Sarah Ferguson are due to vacate the Royal Lodge as soon as next week, Kinsey. And the Telegraph understands that Eugenie is frustrated that the entire York family has been tarnished.
She said this was about protecting Eugenie's own career, her charities, her husband, and her young family. She suggested that Eugenie does not want guilt by association hanging over everything she does. Hagen went further than that. She pointed to Andrew's continued refusal to apologize to the victims connected to the Epstein scandal. According to her, that lack of remorse matters deeply here. Andrew has consistently denied the allegations against him, but he has also avoided any expression of regret or responsibility. And Hagen said that simply does not sit well with Eugenie. She made another point that caught attention. We have seen Eugenie and Beatrice with the wider royal family at Christmas. Andrew was not there. Hagen said we should not expect to see Eugenie with him publicly, even if she may still support him privately. And that distinction matters in royal terms. The Mail on Sunday later added weight to this, reporting that a source close to the family said Eugenie had completely cut him off and that there was no contact at all. The same source said Beatrice is trying to walk a careful line, staying close to the royal family without fully severing ties with her father.
Look, I think that this is clever counsel. We don't punish children for the sins of their parents, but association matters. You are, to some extent, judged by the company you keep. And it is impossible to look at ex-Prince Andrew's daughters without being reminded of the scandal and embarrassment.
Eugenie, by contrast, is reportedly not speaking to him. It's worth remembering that Andrew lost his remaining royal titles last year, following a decision by his brother, King Charles. That move effectively removed him from any official royal role and closed the door on public rehabilitation. This reported estrangement also comes after a fresh wave of attention surrounding the Epstein files. Just before Christmas, a large volume of documents and images were made public. Among them were photographs showing Andrew in compromising settings, including images of him reclining with women. There were also documents referencing an email chain involving someone identified only as A at Balmoral and Ghislaine Maxwell, who is currently serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking. Andrew has denied all allegations. But the optics are damaging, especially when the material continues to resurface.
Context, Princess Eugenie's efforts to distance herself are not disloyalty, but self-preservation. And the further she steps away, the safer her standing becomes within the monarchy.
Another royal commentator, Richard Fitzwilliams, spoke to the Mirror about the wider impact of these releases. He said there is a fear of the unknown surrounding both Andrew and his former wife, Sarah Ferguson. According to Fitzwilliams, the sheer size of the Epstein files and the number of redactions raise obvious questions about what else may still come out. That uncertainty, he said, is hanging over them. Not just what has already been seen, but what has not. This may be why both Ferguson and Eugenie have cut contact. In recent weeks, that pressure has only increased. Fresh reporting has focused on Andrew's living situation and finances, with multiple outlets talking about his upcoming move. Some are suggesting he will move to the Middle East. At the same time, Andrew's continued proximity to royal estates has reportedly caused tension behind the scenes. According to royal correspondents, senior members of the family are keen to limit any renewed association, particularly as King Charles continues efforts to slim down the monarchy and distance the institution from controversy. That wider effort has meant Andrew's situation is no longer just a personal issue, but an ongoing reputational concern that repeatedly resurfaces whenever new documents, images, or reports emerge.
It's not long at all. I did predict it. I said he's going to Christmas, give him a last chance to stay in that royal lodge where he's been paying this peppercorn rent, as we explained last year. Princess Eugenie, she's had no contact with Andrew. She's furious, apparently, about his lack of apology and the whole Epstein scandal.
From Eugenie's perspective, this creates a constant risk. Any new document, any new image, any new headline has the potential to pull her name back into a story she did not create and cannot control. Unlike previous royal scandals that faded with time, this one keeps resurfacing. The Epstein case continues to generate documents, lawsuits, and media attention years later. There is no clear endpoint. Eugenie has spent recent years building a life that sits slightly outside the royal spotlight. She works with charities, has business interests, and is raising young children. She does not have the buffer of being a senior working royal. Her reputation matters in a very practical way. That context is why some commentators see this decision not as cold or disloyal, but as strategic. According to Hagen, Eugenie is drawing a clear line between her own values and her father's actions, or at least the public perception of them. There's also the contrast with Beatrice, which makes the situation more visible. Two sisters, raised in the same household, responding in very different ways. One maintaining careful contact, the other stepping back entirely. Princess Eugenie's representatives were contacted for comment, but no public statement has been issued. As with most things in royal life, the silence itself sends a message. For Andrew, this adds another layer of isolation. Stripped of titles, excluded from public royal events, and now reportedly cut off by one of his own daughters. It is a very different position from where he stood even a decade ago. And for Eugenie, it signals a clear choice about how she wants to be seen going forward. Not as someone constantly defending or explaining her father, but as someone protecting her own space and future. That contrast became even more visible very recently, when Princess Beatrice was spotted in public with her father.
Beatrice, however, she is maintaining her ties. She invited Andrew to the daughter Athena's christening just a little while ago, but apparently Andrew wasn't in attendance at the party afterwards. It's unclear whether Andrew and Eugenie spoke during the christening, but you might recall that...
Photographs showed Beatrice spending time with Andrew near Windsor, a rare but deliberate appearance that did not involve other senior royals. The sighting was widely reported as a quiet show of personal support, even as Andrew remains excluded from official family events. The images reinforced just how differently the two sisters are choosing to navigate the same situation. So here's the question I want to leave you with. Do you see Eugenie's decision as a necessary act of self-preservation? Or do you think family loyalty should outweigh public perception, even in a case like this? Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you follow royal news closely, make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss the next update. Thank you for watching.